Well, hello. We're going to talk about file structure now. I truly believe that file structure is one of the most important and perhaps difficult concepts for people to get their arms around. I know when I first started with computers, it certainly was my nemesis. I just didn't get it. Although I didn't have any help in trying to figure it out and had to do it on my own, so at least you're going to get the benefit of a little help from someone that's done it quite a bit. File structure is important because computers are absolutely wonderful at keeping things that you want, whether they be pictures or files or music, just lots of different things that you create, that you find, that you get from the internet, which you would like to enjoy over and over again. The idea is, if you can't find them, you can't enjoy them the second time. So being able to file them in a manner in which you're capable of retrieving them anytime that you want is extremely important. And the file structure in a computer is basically set up like a standard filing system. So for those of you that have ever worked with a filing system, this is probably going to be a little easier. Basically, you can use the folders that have already been created for you, or you can create your own folders, which I'm inclined to do. And the folder should have great meaning to you, the master folder. So it could be Bruce's pictures, great big words, and for me there are tens of thousands of pictures that I keep, and being able to find the particular one that I want is important to me. So how do you put those in this giant folder and find them when you want them? And the solution is really quite simple. So you have a file folder, and this will be Bruce's pictures or your pictures or whatever you choose to name that folder. And then you will start putting folders inside that folder. So these will be Bruce's pictures from vacation. So you take this folder and put it in this folder, and now you've got Bruce's pictures, and then you've got vacation pictures. And then you can further divide vacation pictures into 2005 vacation pictures. So you put another folder inside of that folder. So you've gone from Bruce's pictures to vacation pictures to 2005 vacation, Bruce's vacation pictures 2005. And then you could further subdivide that. If I went to New Orleans, I could have pictures from New Orleans, and if I went to Las Vegas, I could have another folder for Las Vegas, however you want to subdivide that. So that's the basic thought behind how you file in a computer. Naming files is another thing that when you have an awful lot of them is extremely important, but everybody does their own on that. I have a system that I will tell you about in the training video, and if you choose to use it, that's great. This was developed primarily for documents that I needed to keep, but works well for pictures also. But again, you can just put whatever name on a picture you want to. They will come with a name, and you can leave that on. The only problem that you can run into there is you can't have two files in the same folder with the same name. So you may have to rename one A instead of number 10. It could be 10A, and then you could have them both in the folder. Again, I thought it was important that I talk to you a little bit personally about this before we get started. Don't become discouraged. It really, once you understand it, you'll go, yes, that makes a lot of sense. And I know that for myself personally, where I have gigs and gigs and gigs of information stored in my computers, 99% of the time at least I can find it. So learning how to put your files away so that you can find them is very important. And if all else fails, there is the search option in Windows, and that can help you also. But anyhow, going to start the training videos, and hopefully you'll be able to get this done in a fairly short period of time, and it'll make your computer very useful to you. So, without further ado, let's get into the training videos on file structure. This is the start of your video training on file structure. In order to talk about file structure, we need to get into the Windows Explorer, which is how you find files in your computer. And when you open Windows Explorer, it normally opens to My Documents, and you'll see it's a split window, and you can adjust it just like everything else in Windows. On the left side is the structure of what is in your computer, and then whatever is highlighted, and in this case it's My Documents, which is in blue. The contents of that folder are shown on the left side, on the right side, as well as on the left. As you can see, there is a small minus button next to My Documents, and if you push that, it closes it and turns into a plus, which means that there are more folders in the main folder, which is My Documents. We'll open that back up again. Now, typically, you would want to create new folders in My Documents. And the reason for that is when backups are done and whatever the automatic settings are for My Documents to back up My Documents. And these are things that are going to be in your documents. As you can see, this is set for folders view. If you click that and change it, it gives you a different view, not of the folders on the left hand side, but things that you can do. Not very useful in my opinion. So we'll put it back in folders view. What we're going to do now is create a new folder in My Documents. So in order to create a new folder in My Documents, you have to have My Documents highlighted, and you go up to File, and you left click that and come down to the first one, which is New, and you go over to Folder, and we're going to create a new folder, and it shows up as New Folder highlighted in blue. And as you can see, it's blinking slightly, and that means that you can rename this folder at this point, and we're going to call this Bruce's Pictures. After you type in the name of the folder, if you press enter, you'll see that the folder has appeared now under My Documents. So it's listed on the left side in the structure, and on the right side, because we have My Documents open, it's showing the subfolders in My Documents. Alright, because I'm planning to put a lot of pictures in my Pictures folder, we have to create subfolders, and typically you would either want to do this by dates, and you could put in years and then split the years into months, and or you could put them in by category. And we're going to do both in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is make another folder in Bruce's Pictures. So we highlight that. We go up to File, New, Folder, and I'm going to put in 2007. Okay, so now under Bruce's Pictures you'll see that there's a plus sign, and if you click that you'll see that there's a folder that says 2007. So in that folder I want to have additional subfolders to divide my pictures from 2007 into various categories. So I'm going to add one that says Family. So with the folder highlighted, you go up to File, New, Folder, Family. Okay, and now you'll see that there is a plus sign by the 2007, which means that the Family folder is below that. So we've created Bruce's Pictures. A subfolder in Bruce's Pictures is the year 2007, and a subfolder in that is Pictures of Families, My Family. Additionally, we're going to, in 2007, I want to put another new folder in there called Work. So 2007 is highlighted. We go up to File again, New, Folder, and we'll call this one Work. Okay, so now in 2007 we have Family and Work. And we can further divide the Work folder if we choose to. In my case, I do work in both Detroit and Cleveland, so I'm going to break that into two separate folders. So highlighting the Work folder, we go up to File, New, Folder, Detroit. Okay, so there's a plus sign again, so that means that there's a subfolder called Detroit. And now we want to put in one for Cleveland, so we leave Work highlighted, go up to File again, New, Folder, Cleveland. Okay, and that's all I'm going to do for 2007. Now I've got some pictures from 2006 that I want to put in here. So we go back up to the very top, which is Bruce's Pictures, and I want to add a 2006 folder. So we go to File, New, Folder, and we're going to call this 2006. So now I've got 2006 and 2007. There's no plus sign next to 2006, so that means there are no subfolders. But in 2007 we added folders. We added Family and we added Work, and then we added in Work, we added subfolders called Cleveland and Detroit. So they are there now. But we want to divide 2006 up into Vacation, okay, and now you see that there's a plus sign here, so that means there's a subfolder, and there it is, Vacation. And we're going to break the Vacation folder down because we took a couple vacations shamelessly. First one, 2006, is going to say New Orleans. Okay, and we've now added that, and you'll see that New Orleans shows up below there. And we're going to add one more, which would be Las Vegas. Okay, so let's review what we have here now. We started out by adding a folder called Bruce's Pictures. And then we decided to break this down in time elements. So we have a folder for 2006 and we have a folder for 2007. Your folders are always going to appear in numeric and alphanumeric order. So if you really wanted 2007 to be before 2006, you could rename this folder A 2007. But we won't do that right now. So we added 2006, and a subfolder in 2006 was Vacations, and we added two subfolders there, Las Vegas and New Orleans. So what we will do is gather our pictures from the vacation in 2006 that we took in Las Vegas and put them in this file, and the pictures from New Orleans, we put them in this file. And again, these folders can be further broken down if you care to, by the day of the week on that vacation, or different things that happened, boat trips that you took, or whatever. So you can add as many folders as you want, making subfolders, making it easier for you to find where you filed these things. In 2007, we added a folder for family pictures, and we added a folder for work pictures in two different locations. And again, those can be further broken down to have more meaning for you. There is no limit on the number of folders you can add. The next video is going to deal with adding pictures to these folders. Well, since the last time we talked, we've accumulated a lot of pictures on our desktop. And we'll talk in further instructions on how things get where they get. And I'm a great believer in putting things on your desktop until you take the time to sort them out and make sure you're putting them in the right place where you want them to be. Whenever you're moving things around, if you always put them in the same place, that's the place to look for them. Anyhow, we wound up with an awful lot of pictures here on our desktop, and if we didn't have time to sort them right now, I would put them in Bruce's Pictures. Now, in the hierarchy, the top folder, which there actually is nothing in there, that just says what the name of the folder is. So we'll put them in there until we have a chance to get at them and sort them out and put them where they really belong. So you take your mouse and you drag it down, and I'll do that again for you if you didn't see how it happened. Put your cursor just above the top of the first file, press down on the left mouse button, drag it all the way down to the bottom of the number of files that you want to move. Bring it all the way to the left to the edge of the line. Let go of the mouse, and now they're all highlighted. With your right mouse button, anywhere in here, push down on the right mouse button and move over to Bruce's Pictures. Let go of the mouse button, and it says you have a choice to copy here, move here, create shortcuts here. And we want to move these all to this location. So we push move here, and lo and behold, they are now in Bruce's Pictures. That's where they all are. So that's how you move things from one place to another. You highlight it, put your right mouse on it, drag it to where you want to go, let go of it, and your choice is to move them there or copy them there. So you could leave them on the desktop and actually have a copy of them on the desktop and in Bruce's Pictures. That gets awfully confusing after a while. So usually when you're ready to do something, you should move the files to the location that you want them in for the moment. And this is to keep your desktop clean. So that is a quick lesson in moving files. Okay, we're back in Windows Explorer looking at the desktop, and we have moved all of those picture files over to Bruce's Pictures. So we will open that now, and the two folders that we created under Bruce's Pictures are here. In 2006 it was Vacation, and in the Vacation we put Las Vegas and New Orleans. And in 2007 we have Family and Work. And Work has a plus sign, so we have Cleveland and Detroit. So at this point I want to sort some of these pictures, and I'm going to briefly tell you why when you get them out of a camera, or you get them off the internet, or wherever you wind up getting pictures from, that you want to identify them fairly well. This is an assortment of pictures, and I actually have given these some names so that we can see the difference. Typically they'll come out of the camera depending on the camera, but this one came out of a Sony DSF 828, and it pre-numbers the pictures. The problem with that is when you reset the camera, you'll have several pictures that have the same number. So leaving the actual raw number on the picture is probably not a good idea. And I would, and as you can see, these pictures are fairly substantial in size, 3.2 megabytes. These have not been worked over yet, touched up if you will, and they'll become much smaller files when they are. This one has been, and you can see it's only 158K, so much smaller than it was. Always want to keep the raw pictures so that you can crop them and do whatever you might want to do to them, and we'll talk about what you can do with pictures. But you want to always keep the big picture and then rename the smaller one, and I usually put a SM small on the name of the picture. And you see the one above that is a way that I used to identify most of my pictures. So that one is 11th month. It was a picture on the 10th day of 07. It was picture 19, and it was Ryan Holmes in Cleveland, and that's how I identified that picture. Some of the other ones, typically people will just put down shorthand for what the picture was. This actually was Jackson Square from the River in New Orleans. This one was Irvin and Boyle Experimental Shade number 13. Ford Shaker, 2 February of 07, and this was picture 18. So everyone has their own way of identifying pictures. You should get in the habit of, when you put a picture into your computer, give it the name that you want it to have, that it's going to have, that you'll be able to find it and identify it fairly easily. And that goes for not only pictures but videos and music and any kind of files or forms that you have, letters and so on. That's the power of computers, is being able to keep all this information for you, but if you can't find it, there's no sense in storing it. So in addition to having the names of all of these, you can alphabetize that by clicking on the bar above where the names are, and that puts them in alphabetical order, and you can click it again and that reverses it, alphabetical order. You can click on the size and it'll sort them from the smallest to the largest. You can click on the type, and in this one we only have 3 types here. We have file folders, we have one Adobe Acrobat document, which is some pictures of my granddaughter actually, and the rest of them are JPEGs, which is pretty much standard format for pictures. You can also sort them by date if you want to, by just clicking up here, top to bottom or bottom to top, however you want the pictures sorted. File folders don't count for date, that's why they come in at the bottom, but the oldest ones are here at the bottom and go up to the newest ones at the top. A very nice feature for Windows XP, which I never had when I developed my systems for filing these things, is you can look at thumbnails of these, so you actually see what they look like. And by looking at these, you should be able to sort from here, which I'm going to do. This first one is work in Detroit, so we will move that to, and again, you take your left mouse button now, if we just want to move one at a time, left mouse button, and drag it over to work, Detroit 2007, and let go of it, and it's gone, it's there. And this one is the same, and we'll put that there. And this one is the same, and we will put that there. And again. And again. Now this is Vacation in New Orleans, and we will move that into the New Orleans vacation site in 2006, and that one is in New Orleans also, and also, and also, again, again, and again. And the next one's, this is my daughter's wedding out in Las Vegas, so we will put all of those in the Las Vegas folder. Now this one is the one I told you, my granddaughter, and I'm not going to move that one currently. These are some pictures of a work area in Cleveland, so we will put those where they belong in the Cleveland 2007 folder. Okay. So we have now put the pictures where they belong. So in Bruce's pictures, the only thing we have left is this one PDF file, which I will do something with in a minute. But if we're looking for vacation pictures from 2006 and the ones from New Orleans, we click on that, and they're all in that folder, and we can look at them in a slideshow. And those are the pictures. If we want to see the Las Vegas pictures from 2006, they're in a folder, and we can indeed just click right through the folder. And the same with this is the work folder. We have the two folders below that from 2007, Cleveland. And this is that Ryan site that I was telling you about. And this is the Detroit pictures. So everything is where it belongs, and we'll be able to find it. And again, you can come down as many levels in here as you want. If you went to Las Vegas twice, you can make this the master folder and put March and July as folders underneath that to separate the two separate times in 2006 that you were in Vegas. You can make this as complicated or as not complicated as you want. But when you want to find things, the better you have organized them to begin with, the easier they're going to be. Now you can do this with music, you can do this with documents, you can do this with anything that you want to keep track of. In the upcoming video, we're going to be talking about some things that I'm going to give you a little background in first so that they make sense to you when we talk about them. I have some files now in one of these folders, in the 2007 Work Detroit folder, and there are these 5 pictures here. Right now they're in the detail view, so what you're seeing is the name, the size, the type, and the date modified. This button right here is the Views button, so this allows you to change how you're looking at these files. First one is as a film strip, and what that means is just what it says. These are the 5 pictures. And it's like they're loaded into a camera that you can look at them one after another, and you push on these buttons as you have in some of your other training videos, and you can look at the various pictures that are in that folder. Next on there is the thumbnail view, and what this is a small thumbnail of the full-size picture. And after that you can look at tiles, which is just the icon that represents, in this case JPEG, is what these pictures are as a format, and this is the icon that represents the program that opens JPEGs in your computer and my computer, photo filter. And below that as icons, and below that as a list, which is just a list of the 5 files without any other information, and then finally where we started with details. Now I'm going to talk about the names of these pictures, and naming any file in your computer, you need to make sure that you want to change the name before you do that. Certainly only with files that do not affect the running of the computer. So we can furnish you a list of those, but you'll instinctively know which ones they are. But if we want to change, for instance, this first picture, we want to change the name on it. We put our cursor on it, push the right mouse button, and it gives you a list of things that you can do, and the one that you want to do here is rename. So you'll see that the brackets came up, and this is pulsing a little bit, and that means that you can indeed change the name of it. So if you just start typing, it'll wipe out the name totally, or if you push the right arrow button, the cursor will be blinking at the end, and you can then push the left mouse button and go in and change anything that you want to in here. If you want to call this a PIX, if you want to put an I in there, just put an I in there. It's a PIX now. And when you're done changing things, if this date was wrong and it really should have been the 25th, you can change that. And when you're done changing, you just press the enter button, and the name of that file has now been changed. That's the only thing that's changed on it. It's still the same file. It still looks the same. It just has a different name. So that covers how you change the views and how you change the names of your files. This short program is going to tell you about one of the features of Windows that can give you some enjoyment. In Windows Explorer, when you have your files over here, we're going to look at this one. This folder in particular has some pictures of my grandson at his 3rd birthday, and it comes up and it shows the files that are there and gives the details on those files. You can indeed now go up to this button, which is the Views button, and when you click on that, we're showing details right now. You can get a list which doesn't have the details. You can get icons, which shows what program the files open with. You can get tiles, which gives you a little more information, and the icons again. And finally, you can go to thumbnails, which gives you a preview of what the pictures look like. But if you'd like to look through this folder, and if you have a lot of pictures in there and you'd like to see them a little better than they're here, you can go over to the folder, right click, go down to Properties, and when this window comes up, you go over to Customize, and this first box here, this drop down box, gives you a list of options of what you want this folder to be, and we want it to be a photo album. So we're going to click on that and click Apply and OK, and now this has made this into, in the Views menu, this is a film strip. So like any film strip, you can click on the next button, it'll show you the next picture and the next picture and so on. Very useful when you're trying to go through an awful lot of pictures. My goodness, there's my little devil again with the red eyes. That one needs a little help. But it's a feature that is available to you, and you need to know how to be able to get to it as you add files to a folder. Whatever the properties of that folder was when you created it is what it's going to be. So if you want to change it so you can have the film strip available to you, you need to again go to Properties, Customize, and Photo Album. And that is how you view a film strip. The next feature we're going to talk about is the search feature. And if you were paying attention during the file structure, you've learned how to file away your files in folders so that you can find them. But as you acquire more and more, I don't know how good your memory is, and mine seems to be pretty good yet, but occasionally I lose a file. So how do you find that file after you have looked and you can't find it? And Windows supplies what's called a search feature, and you get that off the Start menu, and you go up to where it says Search, and you get this window. And let's maximize this so we can see it better. And I'm going to look for a video. Your video training on Skype is what I'm going to look for, and I know it's in the computer here someplace, but I can't seem to find it. So you can look for a variety of things, pictures, music, videos, but we're going to look under all files and folders. And I know that it started with Yanotech, so we will look for that, and we will search for it. Now, in my computer I have an awful lot of things, so we're going to pause this while we let it. Okay, it finished searching. It really didn't take very long, and it found 130 files associated with Yanotech. And I'm not going to spend my time going through all of those, so we're going to refine the search a little more. So, things that you can do here, when was the file modified? And if you know it was in the last week, you can check that, and the computer will only look for things that were done in the last week, the last month, and the last year, specify the dates, and you actually can, if you remember, because it was the 4th of July, you can put in the dates to have the computer look for. But I'm going to put I don't remember. And what size is it? Well, it was a fairly large file. Movie files are large, so we're going to say it's a large file. And now we're going to let it search again. And again, we'll pause while it finishes the search. Okay, I finished searching and found 14, and for demonstration purposes I'm going to show you a little more how to refine the search. We know the file started with Yanotech, and you don't remember what words were after that or letters were after that, so you put in the wildcard, which is the star. So it's anything that Yanotech, anything, it'll search for. And then I know it was an AVI, which is the file format I use to make videos with. So I put in AVI, and that refines the search even more, and we'll let it search now. And it found a file. So let's stop where we're at, and let's look at the details on that file. And yes, indeed, it was Yanotech, and so on and so on. And that's the file I was looking for. Now, on the file search, you have a lot of other things that you can put in here. You can look for a word or a phrase in a file, and it'll go through all your individual files, all your documents, Word documents, and look for those words and give you a list of the files that have those words in them. You can tell it where to look. You can look in just My Documents, you can look in shared documents or any of the drives that you have on your computer. Again, we looked at the dates and the size, and you can specify the size actually, and I knew that was a large file, and I really could have gone at least and then put in a big number for kilobytes. And you can look in different places, hidden files, search in subfolders, and if we had done that, we'd have come up with a lot more Yanotech files. So if you've lost a file, all is not lost. You should be able to retrieve it if you know the type of file, whether it's an AVI or a ODT, which is the Word type files for OpenOffice. If you knew a word that was in that file, if it's a picture file, it would be a JPEG. You can tell it where to look. You can tell it what period of time to look in. You can tell it what size the file might be. So there are a lot of different search parameters that you can put in, and you'll hunt it down eventually. If it's in there, you'll hunt it down eventually. So that's how the search function in Windows Explorer can help you and your memory. But then the question begs, once we've helped your memory, how do I get to that file? Where is it? It says it's in a folder, and you can't really see all of it because some of these folder descriptions are fairly long. You can always, on the headings to these columns, put your mouse up there, and it turns into this double-headed arrow with a line through it, which means you can move the size of that heading. And if we move it over to the right, it was in My Documents, Desktop, and 103006. That's where that file is located. Now, something else you can do if you just want to see the file, you can actually click on the file and it will open the file. Welcome to Yanotech. So, hopefully you're never going to lose anything permanently, just temporarily. And when you do, you're going to be able to find it without any problem at all.